Nowadays, Marquette is a fairly safe place to live. Oh, police officers will tell you that there are some interesting things going on in various corners of town at strange hours of the night. But overall, it's quite quiet, with nothing like what happened on August 23rd, 1924, the deadliest day in the history of the Marquette City Police. Martin Ford had been a Marquette City police officer for around 2 decades. After starting as a patrolman, he had risen through the ranks, and in August of 1919 had been sworn in as Marquette's latest police chief. 5 years later, on August 23, 1924, he was off duty when he received word that Oscar Lampinen, a Dearton resident who had just been kicked out of the U.S. Army for unspecified reasons, and who was also the suspect in a B&E the previous week, had tried to break into yet another downtown store. That robbery was not successful, and Marquette City Police Officer Thomas Thornton immediately tried to apprehend Lampinen, who shot and killed him. Thornton's body was found by his partner, Officer Walter Tippett, in the backyard of Marquette's mayor, Harlow Clark. Lampinen took off on the run, heading south out of the city. Chief Ford, along with his son Lloyd, Walter Tippett, and several other officers, quickly formed a search party and took off after Lampinen, finally catching him along the banks of the Chalkley River. There, a shootout occurred, and by the time it was over, Chief Ford was killed and Lloyd Ford was seriously injured. He died of his injuries soon afterwards. Walter Tippett finally managed to hit Lampinen, whose body was discovered a short time later after a search of the river's banks. Both Fords and Patrolman Thornton were praised by city officials and buried with honors. As was often the case when a city worker was killed in the line of duty, especially when there were surviving children, Martin Ford's widow Mary was given the opportunity to run the pavilion store at Presque Isle by the city to help her try to get on with life. She did so until she passed away. Walter Tippett, the Marquette police officer who gunned down Lampinen, was haunted by the incident. He quit the police force and for a while worked at the Marquette branch prison. His family moved to Ishpeming, and he soon got a job at a mine where his brother was employed as mine captain. On his first day of working at the Barnes Hecker mine, Walter Tippett, along with his brother, died in the tragedy that befell that operation, one of the deadliest mining accidents in Michigan history. Walter Tippett left behind a widow and 4 children.